Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Allied General. I'm the Mysterious JG. We've spent about a little more than half of the turns we have available to us, and I think we're going to be capable of winning this scenario on this turn. But maybe, well, certainly we won't have all of our units where we want them as far as being overstrength. So we've got a little work left to do on that score. Ooh, yuck. I did not realize that they had that much firepower left. I think I need to take over this airfield so that I can reinforce these guys on the next turn. Alright, let's get these gentlemen out of here, and by gentlemen I mean Nazis. So maybe gentleman wasn't the correct term, but nevertheless, let's have them not be there anymore. Oh, okay, these are paratroopers, so they can jump. These guys not so much. This was where I abandoned trucks and then found out, oh wait, I shouldn't have done that. I think it'll be fine, folks. We'll find a way to recover from this terrible setback of having lost the trucks of an auxiliary unit, but nevertheless, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that that was something that I should have done, because it wasn't. Oh, I should have used the flying fortress there. Oops. Oh well. I guess I kind of already knew this one was, yeah, so we can win this one at any time. You know what, in all honesty, this is an even shorter video than I thought it was going to be. Assuming I use my off-screen time to... Alright, I might have to just merge these together into one long video after all.
Sir, High Command has issued the order to strike into the heart of the Reich. They demand that we proceed with all dispatch, as we're in a level race with the Russians for Berlin. The PM himself stressed that the post-war borders on the continent will be established by the outcome of this battle.
So we're at the point now, yeah, Germany has lost the war. It's just a matter of who's going to rule post-war Europe. And so, Germany. So this is an interesting one here where just going to throw down with all appropriate dispatch our units. And we can get up to 3 new core units. And this is actually the last historical campaign for the British. But as you can see, we don't really have an exciting new and better tank option. I mean, the British have nice recon, but I just never use them in my core. We have an even worse mobile anti-tank gun, but we don't care about that particularly. Same artillery. Like the British were not rushing new experimental Woppets to the battlefield, although we do have the Meteor. We can upgrade our fighters to the Meteor, which is the British jet fighter. There's no particular reason not to, because we have the prestige points to spend. But, I mean, we're not really going to get that much utility out of them, because one of the things I was going to showcase here... Can I vamp it to the point where this is a video? Because I was thinking we need to... well, anyway, this is Germany. This is Berlin. The British line is based around Essen. There's Amsterdam. Even old New York was once doing Amsterdam. And I guess the Americans are further south, fighting for Wiesbaden. Then there's Mainz. So we got this would be the Rhine and the Moselle. But here's the Main, because we've got Frankfurt on Main. Yeah, Frankfurt. I was actually born right in here in this whole area because I'm an army brat, and that's where the dad was stationed at the time during the Cold War. But Kaiserslautern's in here, K-Town, as it's known by the Americans, who have a presence there to this day. But Wiesbaden, Mainz, and Frankfurt on Main. But yeah, so let's go back instead and see what happens if we do. Maybe I won't post this together. Maybe I'll just hem and haw a bit here. But now we've reached the point where we can kind of win this one whenever. So if we just let ourselves lose, what happens? Yeah, video, I think I will keep this as its own separate video. It'll just be a bit of a non-event video. We'll see the different outcomes for this scenario, and then probably I'll just do some of my elite replacing that I usually do off screen. I'll do it on screen so you guys can see the process. You'll see how the sausage is made, because of course wir machen ihre eigene Wurst. So if we lose, which I expect if we don't take all the objectives, we lose. Yep. If in those turns we still haven't taken Essen, or whatever that city is.
The High Command tells us that Stalin's armies are poured into Berlin. The Germans had no choice but to throw down their guns. It's a bloody shame that we didn't get to accept the surrender ourselves, but I'll take this piece of a war any day.
But, oh, we don't want to review the battlefield. We're too angry. At least, unlike Panzer General, it doesn't auto-quit. Like, auto-close the application when you get game over in a scenario. That was always a weird quirk of Panzer General to me. Alright, so I'll take this piece of a war any day. But yeah, we've reached the point now where there's no place for the scenario to go if you lose. Like, if you lose, then Germany surrenders to the Russians. And we'll have roughly that same outcome for... we've only got 2 scenarios left, because I believe we saw when we get the major, we go to the final scenario where you're marching on and taking Berlin. But if you get a minor, I think we've got 1 scenario left before we can get to Germany, if we intentionally do a minor and delay things. But it'll be the same conditions. Major takes you to the final battle. Minor probably still takes you to the final battle. And a loss at any point from here on means the war is over, the Germans are defeated, but the Western Allies are not the ones who achieved the final victory and are therefore not in a good position to negotiate the final peace. At this point, Roosevelt and Churchill are racing Stalin. Though if you prefer Montgomery and I guess Eisenhower are... Was it, who would it be? Eisenhower, Bradley, whatever. It's them racing Zhukov. It's not the Germans winning the war is no longer a thing. That's not what I meant to move you, but whatever. Wait, why am I letting the Yanks get this victory? This is a British victory, a British minor victory.
Sir, our tenuous position warrants caution. Our orders say that we must secure the Ruhr region by the end of the spring.
Alright, so like I thought, we have 2 scenarios left, potentially. We have to proceed with caution because of our tenuous position. But indeed, this is still us invading German territory. I guess it's just not the heart of Germany itself. Well, we'll figure out where we think we are per the map in a moment. And in this one, we can't buy any core units, so that's interesting. The final mission always gives you 3 more core units, because whether you get there through a major or a minor, I don't know if we could have ever bypassed that mission where we're doing the Battle of the Bulge. So yeah, either a major or a minor, you're always getting a 3 new units there. That's kind of surprising to me. I would have thought maybe it's like you get 1 new unit in this one and only 2 in the final, or you jump straight to the final and get 3 there, but I wouldn't have thought we get nothing here. So let's see, because I'll forget by the next time I play. Let's just get an idea of what we think we're up against here. So this is a battle for the Ruhr. Essen is kind of, yeah, alright, so I guess this is the Ruhr. Sometimes they tell you the names of the rivers, and sometimes they don't. Here's Dusseldorf. Wuppertal? I'm not familiar with that city, but Dusseldorf and Crestfield. Dinslaken. What's just Dinslaken? I don't know if I go with Lachen. It's not CH. Cologne. See, Novo Ukraine. Or Ukrainka. Is that a Messerschmitt 109, or is that like there's a fancy like Heinkel that shows up late in the war that in the Panzer General / Allied General artwork kind of looks a lot like a 109, but I think that's just like a Messerschmitt 109. I think we just have, this just represents the fact that there's the Luftwaffe is on its last legs, but we've got a full strength Messerschmitt and a partial strength Focke-Wulf fighter unit. We probably aren't going to be facing anything along in terms of bombers. It's probably just a couple of fight. Yeah, it's just those 2 fighters are left. And as you can see, the American Air Force, like even if we didn't have any British Corps air units, we're given enough. Well, this is a level bomber, a tactical bomber, and a fighter unit. So if without our core units, the British aren't bringing air power that dwarfs um, the Luftwaffe, but the Americans certainly are. The Americans have them. Well, hold on. It's fighter, 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 fighter. The Americans have 2 fighter units, Thunderbolts and Mustangs. Certainly with some bad initiative rolls and luck. Oh, there's another Thunderbolt unit up here. Yeah, the Americans have enough fighters to take out the German fighters in this scenario by themselves. The British are just gravy, and the Americans have a whole bunch of bombers. But yeah, this is they have a real habit of just changing the scale. Oh, there's Bonn. Bonn was the capital of West Germany when West Germany was its own country during the Cold War. But yeah, Essen being made up of like, is Gelsenkirchen, Recklinghausen. Yeah, but I mean, obviously our scale. That's the word I've been looking for. The scale is just completely different here than it is on the next scenario, because Essen would be 1 hex, and here they have Essen as like 4 hexes, and then they have 3 hexes devoted to Gelsenkirchen, which I think is, well, 2 hexes for Gelsenkirchen and 1 hex for Recklinghausen. I think that would be considered like towns outside of the greater Essen metro area. So obviously a very different scale. But as you can see, it's mostly infantry. We've got a Navalwerfer. Is that a Navalwerfer or a Verbelwind? It's a Verbelwind. But we've got like mobile anti-air. Not a lot of state. There's a little bit of flak up here around Essen itself. But yeah, a lot of infantry, a little bit of armor, and it's really just the Germans on their last legs. And you have to go through this extra scenario, which will... It's not a very big map. Well, no, it's a tiny map, except for the fact that its scale is different. But yeah, we're going to be advancing just kind of steadily east. Can't forget about Bonn, but this one's pretty straightforward. All right, so let's... so we will fill out the rest of this video. I mean, party's over, guys. There's nothing left to see, really. But I guess I'll do a quick scan to make sure I didn't leave any cities neutral. When cities are right at the edge of the map, it can get confusing. Sometimes it looks like they're neutral until you scroll like this one. Oh no, Malmedy is neutral. No, we got it. It's just it was on the edge. This airfield looks neutral. Nope, it's actually not. All right, that being the case, I think we just look for units that are not at their maximum overstrength they're capable of being, that are core units, and we overstrength them. Oh, I already used you on this turn. Alright, so our infantry is all as strong as it's going to get. We have the 2 newest tank units. One of them can overstrength 3 more turns. The other one is our, and then the other 2 are, that's the 3 newest tank units. The others are as strong as they're going to get. I tried to keep my artillery is as strong as it's going to get. Fighters are already maximum overstrength. Looks like the mosquito units are both in the maximum overstrength. So I need to get this Lancaster overstrength one more time. So I really have this one tank unit that have to have several turns of overstrength to get it up to its maximum power. Okay, and I did move you to where you needed to be, so you can just overstrength here. More experience for these guys is fine. Alright. So you just get elite replacements. Just going to double check what I thought I already know. All those guys are got the experience that they're going to get. This tank unit need to overstrength twice more. This is what this off-screening content looks like. Just kind of checking to make sure I'm not overlooking anything and overstrengthening all the units to the max. So I think it really is just down to this tank unit. I just need to end the turn twice and overstrength that tank unit both times. Hey, it's snowing in this reality. So that'll be the end of this. And that takes us to minor. So I don't really need to waste more turns to get to an even less impressive minor. I can review the battlefield. I can save this as UK4.
Sir, our tenuous position warrants caution. Our orders say that we must secure the Ruhr region by the end of the spring.
All right. I wonder if I can... It's really just the fighters. So the meteor is just literally not available to us until the very last scenario. Okay. All right. Well, this video, we kind of meandered around and took our time. And we're going to call it early, but I still think it was worth doing its own video. I've had plenty of videos in this series go a couple minutes long, so this one going a few minutes short is not a big deal. But when we come back next time, we're going to begin the Ruhr scenario, which is, again, as I've said, it's on a different scale. So the actual area we're fighting on is pretty small if it was on the same scale as everything else, but it kind of represents like a slugfest in Germany's, one of Germany's western cities. And just, yeah, this whole Ruhr River Valley and getting across the Ruhr and dealing with German resistance at Dusseldorf and Essen, and this will be the second to last scenario before we, find Adolf himself dead in a ditch, covered in petrol on fire, as Eddie Izzard might say. Good riddance. Hitler, I'm going to throw this out there. I know it's a hot take, and I had some people who watched Panzer General years ago who pretty clearly wouldn't agree with this, but I'm going to call Hitler kind of a douchebag. When we come back next time, we will continue our quest to stomp him out. See you then.